So you still have to choose a target. That's the most important thing. Also, in dry fights, the easiest way to approach it in Ghost Wars Ghost is just say int on and then choose a target and just speed boost in together. That's usually enough to make them panic and use some
We
ults.
could just do a dry push. We could just
I
do a
don't
dry
have
push.
trance yet either.
I mean, then this is also a little bit of pre-fight poke you're taking. Took like 200 HP and you're discorded right now. So that's just like indecision that goes along with that.
Try push. We have the time. Ready?
What do you want to do?
Just try push. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so just dry push 3, 2, 1, and that's basically all that it was.
Okay.
To target there would be very helpful.
Yeah, bubble around.
Block, that's block.
And you notice how like nothing's actually happening for your team because nobody has like a clear focus of what to do or like what they're trying to accomplish. So yeah, that's why they clean up with only a shatter. So now that dry fight kind of bites you in the ass because now they actually get more ultimates
Okay.
because all they use was shatter.
They have grab now for sure, but it's okay.
But that's good. That was definitely a good thing we saw that.
Yep.
That's something that can be changed pretty easily.
So we're trancing first and
That's
then B
something I
for
didn't
bomb
really
just in case.
think about. It's a great idea.
Alright.
Calling a target like that.
Wait for the-
I'm here.
The D.Va's out of the way, then don't do it. Or out there. But
Okay, so you call for a flank grab here.
Oh, no,
I can't kill you for that.
no,
Okay, this is fine.
Are you ready?
Let's look at this.
So
Yeah, this is all completely fine.
I was trying to get a bubble out. That's why I kind of walked in swinging like that. But then they grabbed me. So
Yeah, I was looking at your swing. The swing would have been bad if you would have dropped to like, let's say 330 HP or like lost all your armor. But the fact that you only took so little damage, it was good that you swung because you managed to save shield and break choke more quickly. See, I know you're trying to let your Zarya go for the grab from right side here. So this is all good.
Oh, I can't
This is
do
actually
that.
really good for your team. They got solo grabbed.
Yeah, bubble around. That's alright.
I'm rallying. I'm rallying.
They could follow.
I was kind of hoping he wouldn't use the grab there, but it ends
But
up
it's
working
turns.
out.
Yeah, bubble around.
Yeah.
After I got grabbed.
I can't kill you for that.
No wall. Oh.
So the one problem I see here, it's very small, is that when you get bubbled, you don't do anything with it here. Obviously, you're low and you don't want to like take damage or anything. But at this point, your shield's really low. So think about it as if like it's not so much that you want to swing necessarily. It's more so that you don't want to hold shield while you're bubbled.
I got you.
And since you're doing that, you might as well put one swing into the grab, right? Just swing
Right.
once and then kite back.
Probably would've
that way
gotten
you save
shatter
shield HP as
out
well.
of it.
Yep, exactly. It just would have gave you more options here for sure. So yeah, if you get, there's different ways to use bubble, right? You like to use it aggressively a lot to go into them. But even if like they push into you, when you get bubbled, try to make it a habit to just go for like one quick swing and then shield up again.
Okay.
Because you can get a swing for free. I don't know if you've seen my mono POV analysis, but he actually does this a lot. And it's really
I'm
good.
rallying. I'm
Yeah, I
rallying.
did watch that. Where he swings just once.
Yep.
I'm trancing.
Gets a lot of free damage that way.
My trance gonna last longer.
Yeah, and that was...
Trance. I'm trancing.
That's alright.
Let's see, let's look at that shatter.
They could follow up with it.
I'm gonna trance. I'm trancing.
Dogu.
Because the trainings are going
My
aggro, that's
trance
good.
gonna last longer.
Yeah, that's a completely fun shatter. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, bubble break.
Go. Focus. Focus.
Okay,
Focus.
good
focus.
stuff.
Group up around. Group up shield. Group up shield.
2 seconds on bubble.
Right.
Okay, this is really good discipline from you, just sitting here and baiting them into you. Like, this is so good.
On bubble.
I can't even comment. This is like amazing.
Right.
Break down.
Really solid aggression onto the brig as well.
There's a Lucio behind you. There's a Lucio.
There is also high charge. Zen by himself.
Yeah, so you overcommitted a little bit by going into green. Right? So you could have been punished for that, theoretically. Yeah, you just want to clear out the people. Because right when you think about it, you want to clear the people behind you before you start moving forward. The way you lose is by overextending yourself and the people behind you, they get value, right?
Right.
So I believe it was a Zenyatta here, I think. So as long as you shield these two, and you just kill the Zen, then you just win that fight guaranteed when you walk in again.
Okay.
So it's mainly about patience, like clear what's behind you and then go
There is
again.
also high charge. Zen by himself.
And then you do that here, which is good.
Got him. D.Va.
You do come to realize it.
Yep.
Go on point. Point.
Yeah, and that was a big shatter.
Hold on.
Focus Zarya.
That was...
D.Va.
Actually, that's fine, it's last
I
fight.
just Kobe that one.
Ryan's Discord.
That was a really big shatter.
Nice shot, guys.
Nice.
To win.
Okay, so overall you played that
into the map
really well. There are a few mistakes here and there, but like you have the right general idea. Just a matter of fixing up some little mid-fight things usually.
Okay.
Middle.
Yeah, I'm already learning a lot of stuff I just didn't even think about. This
I
is
think I see it's made to me.
This is
Yeah.
a really good body block by the Reinhardt.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I couldn't get around
I think
the
I see
watch. He
it's
goes to my
made-
left and gets bubbled, and I can't
man,
walk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That
bubble
was
around.
That's-
just-
yeah, that's insane. Okay.
I watched
Yeah,
from
so-
their POV, and
Man.
like they were body blocking me on both sides. Like I couldn't in front and behind. I was.
That is ridiculous. Wow, okay. Yeah, because against... So on maps where like you can potentially expect a Mei, right? Like this is one of them. A lot of teams like to run Mei here. So you always need to have an exit strategy, right? Like, you know that if they have Mei, most likely I'm going to be able to survive by either. And then, in this case, on this map, if you're going white v white, usually either you're going to survive by going this way or going this way. And that's to be an on-the-fly decision. And just
Yeah,
that mentally, you need to have those decisions like pre-mapped out, so that when it does happen, you're very quick to react to it.
That's why I'd pushed up to hold kind
The
of
corner, right?
the
Man,
corner
man,
there,
middle.
so that I would have a good way to get out because I knew they were going to run Mako.
I think it's mate to me.
So I tried
Okay.
to go. I don't know if I
Man,
want
middle.
or something.
Yeah, I think you actually gave up a little bit of space here. Because if you would have kept holding onto that corner, you could have actually backed up. Because there's no way that run would have gone to your left, and the Mei wall was there. So that's again, the predetermining, right? If you know that they're going to have Mei, you might as well play right there and you'll be safe. And if she does wall you off in a way where, you can't retreat this direction, then you can still retreat either this direction. So there's always a way out against a Mei. Well, usually a way out,
It's mate.
as long as you start smartly.
Man, middle.
Yep, bubble.
Okay, so I mean, we can just chalk that up to being good play from them,
We should
and a
get out,
small
we should
misstep
get
from
out,
you.
Give them ult. They have nothing.
Actually,
they're-
push back up, push it back up. We got everybody. Go, go.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay,
you're
that
up.
was a really risky play,
They
actually.
have nothing.
Actually-
Because here, if they wall you, you're gonna die, almost certainly. So this is a really, really risky pin back.
I
I
actually-
probably would have.
I do get walled, but it's
Oh, okay.
But it still works out because the Mei dies
back
as
up,
they
push it
wall.
back up. We
And
got
I think
everybody.
that just scares them, so they
Back
die.
up,
Oh, you're up.
That's
Ah,
good.
I got it. Okay.
First off,
The Mei
hold
actually
on.
walled the choke, so my whole team was out except for me and Zarya, I think.
Got it. Okay. Because yeah, I would just use pin, and I don't know how to explain it. You know that little desk right here?
Yep.
Right. Yeah. You should be just pinning to there.
Okay. Yep, pocket me, pocket me.
Deeper.
They got.
You guys are up one. That's good.
6v5 right now. 6v5.
Yep, go in, go in.
Oh, yep, bubble.
Yeah.
Feel deeper.
Oh, we have
Ryan has
HP advantage.
I really like how you call you have HP advantage.
They have no
Like, that is such a
Rhino
good call out.
Rhino shield, Rhino shield.
Yeah, bubble.
It's super
Break,
clean.
break down,
Lets you know they
break
can
down,
push
break
in.
down, break one.
Nice aggression on the brig.
Back out.
No,
We
I
got
got.
the Ryan.
I almost
We
got
got
Alright, good call and disengage.
Push, push,
Like,
push.
so far, this is honestly really solid. Like, super impressed.
Ball.
And a good shatter because you know they have no way to block that, so it's
Everybody.
good shatter.
Ain't no
They have no
eyes.
counterplay.
Thanks, Zarya.
Get done.
Make
Done,
cut
done.
this
I got
quick.
spin.
That pin is very aggressive.
That was small.
Done.
It kind of worked
would
out
be-
because it zoned the Zarya out, but
Yeah, it would be a good pin if you knew you already won the fight and you wanted to get the Zarya's energy away, so she can't farm grab, pre-fight. But yeah, that was a little bit risky, but
Zarya?
Get done.
Make
Done,
cut
done.
this
I got
quick.
Zarya.
Bubble.
broadly that was good.
Zen,
Not the pin, but everything else in that fight.
We can't really camp door, can we?
Yep. Oh, hell yeah, we can, dude.
No, we can't.
You said a camp door, good. That's a great call out.
I have trans. I'm gonna use trans for shatter because he probably has shatter.
So
We have B.
I hold, I think, in the wrong spot here, and my team gets shattered. Should I hold back by that
The
one
rocket
large-
space.
Yeah, the thing. I don't know what it's called. Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
because I feel like I can't pressure with swings back there, but with where my team was, and you can shatter over that thing, they all just get shattered.
Beat as well.
For sure.
Back out,
Yeah,
back out.
let's
These
break it
wall.
down here.
It's big. It's big. It's everybody. Or not here, but the next fight coming up.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we get a good view. But yeah, when you're talking about the spacing, you're talking about this thing, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it also depends on what you're playing against, right? You guys are playing normal goats against a Mei. So against Mei, either you want to be holding, stuffing this door, right? Like you just were set up for, or you want to be set up on point. Against a Mei, you do not want to be in this middle ground here,
Oh yeah, no.
because that's where she gets value from all. So against Mei specifically, absolutely not. So holding close choke, that should be fine. Because if the Rhine shouldn't be able to speed boost past for a shatter, right? Because you're going to be swinging so much on his whole team. And then you can possibly counter shatter. Your Zarya has bubbles. So in theory, and in the contenders level, it's good to hold close choke, right? But let's say that you don't feel confident. You feel like, oh, they're going to speed shatter. Then in that case, you can just play on point. Because the Mei wall doesn't get as much value on point either.
Right.
So if that's what you're scared of, then you can call point.
Camp-
But
we can't
objectively,
really camp door, can we?
Yep.
given
can't
contenders level,
remember-
you'd be right.
No, we
I can't remember
we
what they
can't.
did here. Maybe I got booped or something.
I have
but
trans.
they-
I'm gonna use
he does
trans
land
for
shatter
because
on
he probably
most of
has
my
shatter.
team here.
I don't
Are
know
you
if
using
they
it for
Okay,
shatter?
let's
Is that what
see.
you said?
Grab bomb
Yeah.
here.
Or maybe the next fight.
Are they gonna grab bomb?
Also, a small note, you're holding too far back right now for the choke. So you want to be basically right here,
Okay.
in a position where they can't see you, but you can still swing onto them. Because here, if you think about it, you're actually completely defeating the purpose of holding close. Holding close, you want to play close so you can swing and cleave on them as they come out.
Right.
But in this case, you can't cleave when they come out. But at the same time, you're also very close so you can get run over. So you're kind of in the middle ground where you get the worst of both worlds.
Okay.
So if you wanted to play like this, you should play all the way farther back, like on point. That's just
We
one
have
thing I
beat
want
as
to point
well.
out here. So now you move up to choke.
We'll just see.
Okay.
Oh.
We'll let 'em-
So this is the problem. You take a lot of pre-fight poke when you're in these like chokes trying to hold. So here you lost basically all your armor. And if you get armor packed here, that means you don't have armor pack for the fight, for example. So pre-fight poke like this is very, very bad. There's no incentive for you to peek past here at all. So in this case, you literally just want to chill, swing your hammer. When they come in, you just farm them.
Okay.
You don't actually have to reach out to do anything.
Come in a little bit.
The pressure's on
Try
them
grab
to walk through the choke.
I don't
I
have
think
an
Okay, now
orb.
s-
Can you-
trying to see. Oh, that's what happened.
I got it.
They do speed.
a bit, and then I'll try to grab him.
Okay, I want to see exactly what happens
Can
here.
you use it?
Yeah, and okay, so a lot of that is because you're holding close wall, right? So they can easily just speed past you.
Yeah.
The big reason though that they don't get punished for speed boosting like this is because you don't swing.
I'll let him come in a little bit, and then I'll
You don't
try
get
to
value
grab
from the swing. So you're 300 HP, which we talked about came down to your pre-fight poke.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole reason you're low.
I have an orb. I can-
And you realize that you're too low, so you can't do anything. So now they speed boost all of them past the choke. And you can't do anything about it. And you have to play passively because you're 200 HP. So that being said, the problem here is that they speed boosted for free because you couldn't punish them in the choke because you took pre-fight damage. So it all ties back to pre-fight damage. So that's the big takeaway there.
I
So
got
it's
it.
just a
Press
small
Q,
thing.
press Q, press Q.
Okay.
Got it.
This is a good attempt,
I
but
fucked up my
I
bubble.
think he gets bubbled.
May I?
Run, 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 run.
yeah, that was really
Just
weird.
regroup on my shield here. Or, well, yeah, don't move.
Okay, let's see. So you guys are transing right now.
Just regroup on my shield.
Because I talk a lot about not using
Yeah,
shield
I
when you're
shouldn't be
trending.
shielding here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, as long as you know that, that's the big deal.
My shield here. Or, well, yeah, don't move. Right now,
Right,
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 right, right one.
2 seconds on bubble.
Oh,
2
you're going
seconds
so
on-
aggressive.
Pocket your right, pocket your right, pocket your right.
Focusing around.
You're
Right now,
so
right,
alpha,
right,
it's
right.
incredible. Okay. Because in this case, right, you probably just want to hold shield. Because your team's in a... it's so hard. The safe option is to hold shield, right? Because you're up one, the Ryan's discorded to close your team, you guys can just shoot the Ryan and hold shield. And the big reason I say that is you want to play to your advantages, right? And in this case, you look at their shield, it's cracked. It's about 1,000 HP. Your shield's 1,500 HP. And Ryan's out of position, right? So as long as you hold shield and play safe, the Ryan's going to die. Your team just runs him over. And then from there, you already won the fight. Versus here, there's a chance, a fairly decent chance that you might die in this aggression.
Especially
And if you die in this aggression, exactly. If you die in this aggression, you probably lose a fight. So it's a matter of just going for the
2 seconds
highest
on bubble, 2
percentage
seconds
play.
on bubble.
Pocket your
Yeah,
right,
bubble
pocket your right, pocket your
But
right.
that being said, maybe you did it
Ryan
because
is
you were
Ryan
rallying.
is
I'm not sure.
Guilty Bird.
Break,
Maybe.
break, 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 break. All over our shit.
Yeah, that did end up getting quite a bit more dicey than it had to be.
Lucio, backline.
So yeah, I definitely would have held
He's
shield
pulling a
there.
berry, dude.
Or maybe just get bubble when you start swinging. That's the
Push up, push up. We got this.
counterpoint.
Healing.
I heal the best. Hold on,
Only,
Bert.
you don't have all your team, bro?
Yeah, everybody.
Back.
Alright, 4 seconds, 4 seconds.
Okay, so you're backing
I
up.
almost have. I'm
Try to,
sorry.
try to
sorry,
farm
sorry,
rally.
back.
We go for a rally shatter next.
Yep, that's good.
Okay. So
Okay, now this is one thing I want to point out because they're playing Mei. This is such a risky flame strike because they have a Mei. Because you can easily get walled here and die.
When he pops rally-
Very easily. Luckily, the Mei just did that. And it doesn't really matter.
Wait for
Oh,
me.
the
Divas over there. I think. Yeah, look.
May has ult.
That was.
Okay,
I don't know why you would wall a
now
diva.
this is good. So let's talk about... So we talked about Ana goats versus Zen goats. Now let's talk about Mei goats versus standard goats. So let's say you're in the neutral fight. It's like opening fight. If they use Mei wall... Oh, sorry, how do you win the comp, actually? Let me do that. How do you win against Mei?
Wait for wall and then go in when you can't get split.
Got it. Yeah. So the only way their comp actually wins is if they get value from Maywall. So if they use Maywall, that's like your condition to go in. So because they use Maywall here, I want to see you be
Oh,
posturing
I'm
for
ready.
aggression.
Pop rally and speed boost him
We'll
with
see.
that shrine.
Alright,
I'm
ready?
gonna-
3, 2, 1, go, 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 go.
Okay. I mean, that's what you do. You do
Take
posture
it,
for aggression, your shield just gets low.
Alright,
I'm
ready?
gonna-
3, 2, 1, go, 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 go.
The
That
setup
was a
to-
really good shatter as well.
Big.
Nice job
Go
setting that
back,
up with your
back.
big. That's very good.
Yeah, bubble
Now this
break.
pin is
Bubble
very
break.
risky.
Get Ryan, go Ryan, go Ryan. Man.
I don't know how our break got over there, but I think that he gets soul shattered.
Yeah. Okay. Because
bubble
yeah, this
break.
pin right off that is
Bubble break.
incredibly
Go Ryan,
risky.
go Ryan.
Block. Oh, no.
So yeah, that was a bad pin. Because even if you hit somebody, you're putting yourself in the middle of the enemy team. And you don't have shield, so you can't usually kite out and stay alive. In this case, you did though.
I can't get you out there.
Break's half,
Break.
half.
Kill break.
Alright, bubble. Bubble's up, bubble's up.
You bubble me here.
Focus Ryan.
Yep, Ryan.
Yeah, bubble.
Nice. Going aggressive on the Ryan.
That's fine.
Okay,
Go, go, go.
Ryan. Ryan one.
He's projected. 2 seconds on my bubble. 2 seconds on my bubble.
So one thing I've noticed is that you You actually miss quite a few
Small
flame
targets,
strikes,
small targets.
from what I'm seeing.
Okay. Focus Zarya if you can.
And flame strikes is like,
Sorry, it's Discord.
it doesn't seem like a big deal, but just hitting one more flame strike means you might have had chatter. Or you might have got HP advantage.
3 seconds
So
on
I would
bubble,
really
3 seconds
focus
on
on
you.
landing flame strikes, especially when they have Mei, right? Because they don't have a diva.
Right.
They can't eat your flame strikes. It's actually free for you. You should be farming chatter honestly like almost twice as fast as the enemy run. So in that sense, always just try to land your flame strike. It's like so important.
Break
I
top,
can't
right,
emphasize
right,
enough.
Nice, nice.
Zin,
That's Zarya,
Zin.
that's Zarya.
Focus
Even-
Zarya up.
Even increasing
Mei,
accuracy
Mei,
by
Mei.
like 10% is insane.
Nice.
Nice job, guys.
That was beautiful.
If you want, I can
Oh,
also
where
send
would he
you
go?
what I used to practice for it, but it's honestly up to you. I think it's really helpful.
Man, sure. I was
hell
looking
yeah.
on Jane's
Wait, I love
website too,
Farm.
the Eel Hell. I don't care. Site.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's got all those workshop modes that are in like a training category.
Oh, that's cool. I actually didn't know that.
Somebody actually
Are you
made
playing
one for
quad or-
practicing blocking shatters. You like stand
Oh,
in a
yeah, I
circle.
saw that.
We'll play
Yeah,
Farm.
that's so cool.
The Rhine pops up in random spots and shatters. You have to turn and block it
I wasn't playing.
Oh, I should actually do that.
for the first half.
Sounds
Yeah,
super fun.
I found it today. I
For
want
the,
to try it
what
out.
do you mean for the first half?
I thought you
I
played
never
Fire,
played.
they swapped-
No.
Okay,
That's
so
like
you guys
how
are
you-
running Winston
Shut up,
goats.
it sounded good when I said
Yeah.
it.
Let's see what they're running.
So,
They're running quad here, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. They have quad.
Aura.
Okay, so when you said quad, I was confused though.
Probably have to swap.
So
They have a tour.
let me.
Oh shit! I just stood still on it.
You have bubble monkey.
We can't see. So we don't know exactly what they have for quad yet.
Uh,
Quad. They have a tour. Well, we've scribbed these guys before, so I figured I saw the pharmacy and I was like, oh, they have quad.
Okay, sure. Okay, if you guys have that experience, then that's actually fine. Okay, so okay. First off, when you say quad, what DPS are you referring to? Just so we can have a baseline to work with.
Well, their DPS varies, so it was more just knowing their basic comp. Obviously, they have Wrecking Ball and a Mercy, but the other two DPS I wasn't sure of. I still don't even
Got it.
I don't remember what they had, actually.
Okay.
Maybe a Widow or something.
Yeah. So as a Winston goats, how do you beat quad DPS?
You go for the targets on the ground and punish them. The ones
Okay.
that can't get away as easily.
Exactly. So that'd be like a
Like
widow,
a widow or a
Torbjorn.
soldier, yeah, Torb.
Okay, for sure. Okay, so that's definitely the right idea. That's one way to win, right? If you can find one of those targets. Secondly, if you can't find those targets, then you can actually turtle on point and just cap the point.
I
Because the
think
thing is,
yeah.
they like can't do much to you. When you have Brig, as long as your Brig like gets her aura, like the healing aura passively, then you're gonna win that fight.
Too.
So I just want to see
Monkey's
exactly
aura
how you
back.
try to play it out here.
Death pod.
Here.
Oh shit! I just stood still on it.
You have bubble monkey.
So here you do it by pressuring aggro.
Leave in here.
Ball.
You guys stack bubbles a little bit, but I think that was just more on communication, not so much on you
Mm-hmm.
not knowing what to do.
Sun ball.
Hit the ball.
Yeah, low so you play
Ball,
point, that's fine.
Okay.
So in this case, right? You guys killed Ball. You guys lost your Lucio. You should be stabilizing on point, healing up, and then force him to come into you. And then you focus whoever comes onto the point. What I don't want to see here is for you to jump aggressively and try to kill these guys because there's no reason to.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Nice. Just
See what happens
split the
here.
point in
I
half
can't.
with-
Guys,
split
you
the
need
point
a
in
lot
Yeah,
of
play towards wide. Play
This
towards
was, oh no.
okay, that's what you do.
I pressure from sick.
bubble.
Let's go.
They've got
Uh,
quad.
7 seconds on bubble.
Flash, quad.
Yeah, just
Take a lot of damage in the process, but at the end of the day, the idea is
Just
completely correct.
yeah, mirror.
Okay, how do you feel about playing Hammond? Like, how would you rate your Hammond compared to other main tanks?
I played it terribly on this map, but it's actually
Okay.
not that. It's probably my third, probably behind Winston and Reinhardt. My Rissa is definitely my weakest. I just don't play her enough.
Got it. Okay. So now we can actually see the comps here. So for DPS, they're running Tracer, Pharah, Soldier. Okay, and you guys are running... Yeah, proper quad DPS. Okay. So right off the bat, your guys' comp is slower, right? You get more value from playing slow than their comp because you have Widow headshots, fair damage overall. Longer you drag out fights, more EMP Sombra gets. Soldier gets more value as time goes on. So you guys have a better slow comp. So what is your job as Hammond here in this comp? What do you want to be doing?
Just distracting and like pulling aggro from the guys on the ground mostly, because I mean, I can't really do much with the Pharah, but like the Torb and the Soldier, I can zone them out.
Okay. Okay, that's a good thought. So usually when you play against these DPS comps, your enemies can have a Sombra, right? In most situations. So in that case, you have to be a lot safer with how you play the engages, right? In this case, though, they don't have a Sombra. So in this case, I'm okay with you going and trying to contest, a Diva, Soldier, whatever. Or sorry, not Diva, but Torbjorn. Torbjorn, Soldier, whatever. But generally speaking, assuming they have Sombra, then you want to be playing on point. Your job is just to touch point, force them to come to you, and then your DPS just DPS on point, basically. And DPS for damage on point. That being said, also, even if they don't have a Sombra like now, you can just force point. As long as you force them to group up, your DPS get more value. So that's the idea here. Pressure objective number 1, harass people number 2.
Far as half.
Going around here is actually fine though, because you
I'm
can
not
get
sure I
a
can
surprise
hack on
engage.
Mercy here.
Orbs one.
I got soldier. I got soldier.
Yeah, so here's a situation where you could easily call this. Like, I'm engaging on soldier, diving soldier, something like that. Like telling your team that you're engaging soldier. Because, like, he died, right? But he could have been pocketed by Mercy and he would have lived.
Right.
And that's a very real
Orbs one.
possibility.
I got soldier. I got soldier.
Yeah, so you do get that kill though, and that's good. You try to roll in. Yeah, so a big problem that a lot of Hammonds have is that they try to do a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, again, you guys are solely healing Mercy. So any damage that you take is resources you're taking away from your Pharah, your Widow, and stuff like that, right? Because you only have solely heals.
Right.
So your Pharah can't be damage boosted, your Widow can't be healed. And obviously, they're going to be trying to put pressure on those characters. So your job is actually to take the minimal amount of damage possible while still being useful. So the initial rollout you did on Soldier, that was really good. Once you do that, though, I would have just rolled around, go back towards White, and then go from White onto point to pressure the objective.
Okay.
Because you just want to let your DPS do the work.
Oh man.
It feels really bad, but
Yeah, pulse one.
you know, you're just here to enable your team.
Far as half.
So stop
and
trying
give
to
them time.
frag out and more just try to.
I'm gonna go
Just
for
try.
red.
Some point, Trace
Exactly.
Red.
Okay.
That's a huge thing when you play quad DPS.
Oh, James.
I want soldier. I want
No,
soldier.
soldier one.
Okay, you messed with the mechanics of the roll, but good job
Oh,
going for
berry,
Soldier.
berry, 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 berry. Oh, shit. Almost got stuck.
Okay, clean disengage.
I guess I just didn't get enough momentum
Oh.
on the roll there or something.
That's great.
Yeah, I think you
Trace is hacked on point.
got a little bit too much verticality, and that's what
Soldier
caused the
one.
speed to break.
Versus half.
Okay, this is all good.
Oh, I'm dead.
This was stupid
We're up.
here.
Yeah.
I'll come back.
Couldn't get up.
Damn, we got fucked.
But one thing I noticed a lot, we'll see it more in this VOD, I think,
They have 0
I can
damage.
res.
is that when you go on
Okay.
point, you
Okay.
like to roll through people a lot. But you very rarely like to slam. That's what it feels like.
You
You,
know-
just go for a whole bunch of rolls, no slams.
I was watching this VOD earlier today just to go over it, and I realized that like I don't think I slammed once on this
Yeah,
map, which
exactly.
is
You did it at the very, very end of the map, literally like overtime.
really strange because that's not like me. I don't really know why I ended up doing that here. Maybe
Okay.
I just didn't. I don't really know why I didn't slam, but I didn't do
Got
it
it.
at all.
Yeah, because like not slamming is usually good. Like if they have like a Kree, Brig, you know, a Sombra, because you know you're less likely to get hacked or cooldowned, right? Or like CC'd.
Right.
Oh, yeah. In this case, where you don't have much to worry about, you can easily slam without worries, and that's obviously I'm sure you know sets up kills better for your DPS.
The soldiers have to.
Fair Mercy's back.
And this is one of those where you could have slammed very easily.
Versus half.
Balls hacked, balls hacked, balls hacked, balls hacked.
Tracer one, Tracer one,
I was
Tracer
waiting
dead.
to knock
Mercy's
the
one,
mercy.
Mercy's one behind point.
Hammond one, Hammond one.
Okay, so far this is
Bridge.
probably fine.
Torb one.
Yeah, you just want to be staying on point here. Going out here for the soldier doesn't really do anything. Because at the end of the day, the soldier is the one that has to push onto the point to contest.
Widow.
So as long as you just hide and focus the targets on point,
I have,
that's really what
EMP,
matters.
Finally.
Okay.
Okay, let's see how you play this on the defense. Right, so when you're playing on attack, your job is mainly, obviously, like you said, pressure the objective. But if that's not working, you can go to contest like a Widow or a Torb or Soldier, which is what you did. That's good. But when you're on defense, the pressure, or sorry, the objective becomes more to focus on the
Ball's going
point.
white. It's going
Okay.
white.
James, I'm leaving you. I'm going.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's going to be a lot
Yeah,
harder
no,
for you to
Widow.
actually contest somebody when you're on defense now.
Right.
What?
So yeah, if basically what I'm saying is anytime
so
someone gets on point, it's your job to counter them.
Because you said you're leaving.
So let's see how you do on that.
Oh.
Because you're actually taking a lot of damage right now. You're rolling out in the open. Like, you're covering so much of the map right now with how much you're rolling and, like, how much of your presence you're trying to have. And that obviously is costing you your cooldowns. Your E, for example, is 9-second cooldown. You're rolling around taking damage.
Yeah, guys.
So you're trying to do a
we can
whole
group
lot
back
right
up so I
here.
can heal everybody, please. Group back together.
And then we tie that back. And because of that, you can't contest point.
Soldier's hacked. Oh, I can.
Point, get
I
a
think
point,
I'm trying to
get a
play
point, get a point,
too
get a
much like solo queue Hammond.
Yeah.
Nice, nice,
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, you can
Widow's
definitely
on
say
our
that.
side, Widow's on our side. I'd do
Yeah,
it.
just a lot of trying really hard to carry.
Get a point, please.
Watch behind you, Togi.
Oh, the
He's one, he's one.
Just one.
I mistimed
shit.
how long you had to be in the ball for the
Reload
reload
warp.
twice there.
Yeah.
That's the most annoying thing ever.
I'm
I
contesting
can relate.
point.
When you-
Yes, again, like a lot of that right there could be drawn back to you just taking too many resources from your team. Or
Okay.
taking too much damage and not being able to touch point. Yeah, it's just really, really small things when you play Hammond and quad DPS comps. Alright, let me pull up the other one. And your Winston was pretty good for the most part, but we still have quite a bit to talk about here.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
trying to wait to press tab one more time.
We've been struggling with our dive comps recently, and I don't know if it's maybe my play, it might be Soundus or what it
Alright.
is, or if just coordination. But Adam, so you're gonna play that way? You
Okay,
need to
let's
rotate
see.
all the way? Or, oh, you were just
So-
Soundus. And you guys
I'm trying to get to where you press tab real quick so we can
translocated.
talk a little bit.
I think I.
Talk a little bit more abstractly.
I don't remember.
Oh.
And other than that,
Okay. So you guys, if I recall correctly from what you're talking when you're coming out of spawn and whatnot, is that this comp is good against goats. It can be dive. Basically, you're saying it's like a decent all-around comp, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, this comp doesn't beat goats, but honestly, it's not terrible against goats either. So, let's just go on with that. But the idea here is, so tell me, how do you beat goats?
With this comp, the focus was to like cleave and poke and
Mhm.
get the hacks until we can they can't keep up with the resources,
Okay.
and then go in on them.
Yeah, because the way you beat goats, first fights, is that you get a fast primal or you get a fast nano.
Mm-hmm.
Or you land an anti-nade. Those are like the three ways you win first fight. So that means that you need to do everything possible to farm your primal and to farm your nano boost. Because these are literally just the win conditions in fight number one. You're not going to get EMP for fight one. And then
Right.
second fight is where you start getting combos and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be entirely on farming these two ults. So let's
just counter dive.
keep it going. Let's see how we
Just
play
counter
to get
dive.
those two ultimates as fast as we can.
Yes, and goes at the same time. And this,
man.
If it's run over sound is.
Alright.
So why do you start right here? On point.
I don't have a reason. I should be closer to get cleave when they come in.
Yeah, exactly. So ideally, you would be on this truck right here, like on the safe side of truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where if they go right side, you can drop on them as they cross like this, or left side, you can drop on them as they go like that. So
Okay.
if they run goats, that's exactly what you should be doing. You should be here, ready to cleave on them and drop. Because remember, primal and nano, farm those two and you're golden. If you don't farm those two against good teams, you're just not going to win against goats. It's like literally impossible unless they make a major misplay. So you have to be starting here. Because this first rotation, you're probably going to get 35% ultimate charge realistically. Probably more. And then when they rotate like that, you can also jump to meet them on high ground, like you do in this VOD. But yeah, so starting position is something I really want to talk about. You want to start as close up as possible, because remember how we talked about fighting in choke points and like fighting in the 3 different chokes on Night Market?
Mm-hmm.
Think about it the same way when you play Winston. Right? You can cleave here, and then after that you can probably cleave here, and they can also cleave here on the high ground. So think about it like the same way.
Okay.
Because worst case scenario, you get poked out and you just jump back and you're at the same spot you're at right now. You know?
So they're running
Nothing
right.
lost.
Right.
Which way are they going?
It's free opportunities.
Looks like right side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
right
pushing
side.
high ground.
So yeah. So just for reference, so you can like mention what you're doing, good Winstons, like at a contenders level, even on high T3 level, when they're playing monkey against these goats comps, they usually get primal within a minute and 15 seconds at the latest.
Okay.
More often like 45 seconds is when they get their primal.
Okay.
So that's like a benchmark to go by. If you get it before 2 minutes, that's okay. If you get it within a minute and a half, I'd say that's good for this level.
All right, Abyss, come up here.
So this is good. This is really, really good. It's just that it would be so much better if you would have done it at the choke first and then come up here. But this is really good here. This is solid.
Just hold him at the gate here.
I hacked the diva.
And you play this like an alpha. I thought you were gonna die
love to
20
use
times
bubble when you use
when I
bubble
watched this
break
VOD.
it. Or not.
But you don't give a fuck.
Throwing a nade in.
Ryan is Discord, Ryan is Discord.
You know,
I'm
at
reloading,
least
I'm
you're trusting your
reloading.
ana player.
Orb on
This is
Ryan.
ridiculous from you. Like,
Ryan has-
good
He's
stuff.
Discord, he still has
That was
Discord.
I was
Melt,
gonna
melt. Kill,
if I didn't get booped, I was gonna drop back off immediately. But I was
Okay.
just kind of going for like a slam damage. 'cause
Orb
they,
on-
I'm gonna hack
they
Ryan.
didn't have bash at the time.
Ryan has.
They already
Oh, I
He still has
see.
Discord.
So I was gonna
Melt,
just
melt.
land
Kill,
and
he's-
drop.
Okay.
He still had. He still had.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
They're all low.
But yeah, you would have had
Start
Primal
going
here
upstairs
if
real
you
quick.
would have already been on that
Back,
first
push
stroke.
back,
King
push
Zarya.
back.
High Zarya. High
Reload.
Zarya.
Discord,
But aside from that,
Ryan
really
is
good job maximizing your cleave. Like that's, like we talked about, that's entirely what your comp is good for.
Primal already.
Alright, they're probably gonna push
You get the
right.
Primal, you get the Nano, and you
Everyone
won the
left.
fight.
Swaying right
Okay, and
side.
same thing here again. Same principle, you're giving space for free. Just not taking opportunities that are literally free for you to take.
Right.
Well, okay, since we talked about what to do if they're running goats, which is obviously play close first. So if they're running a dive comp, where would you like to set up initially?
So the method behind this comp was that the soldier, like I'd probably set up like in here or at the mega, and the soldier is bait for dive, and then we would just focus on counter diving when they go for it because he can just run away when he sees them coming. So
Okay.
that was the kind of set play that we had set up for with
Yeah.
this comp. So basically, Sommer's behind, gets a hack on like the diva as they're going in or something, and we counter dive the monkey when he goes on soldier.
Got it. Okay. All right. That makes sense. But so you guys have Zen Anna.
Mhm.
So let's talk a little bit about dive. I don't know if you played that much in dive meta, but generally speaking, we have different sort of dive comps, right? Like let's say you play Lucio Zen 2-2-2, right? In that case, you have speed boost, you have Discord Orb, you want to like speed boost and engage. You have Zen Anna, which means that like you have a lot of damage, so like you can keep their tanks at bay and control space. You also have Anna, so you have a lot of heals, so you can hold space because you can take a lot of damage. So in this case, you guys are playing Zen Anna. So Zen Anna isn't really like you want to hold space when you play Zen Anna. That's basically what I'm saying, because you have so much healing, and if a tank pokes up, he gets discorded, and you can focus him, right? It's like you want to be in a position aggressively where you can hold space, because you have so much more pressure, as long as you can stuff their front line. So I'd like to see you play more aggressively to start off with.
Okay.
Same thing applies though if they had dive. So even then, start right here. If you get forced out, then you jump here and you play on the box here on the high ground behind that, and they actually can't shoot you. But yeah, the idea of counter dive is fine. It's just that don't be afraid to apply pressure before counter dive. Like stuff the choke, and then if they dive past you, then you can peel back and counter.
Okay.
That's the way that I would describe it.
Their floats now.
The right side, yeah.
All right, or they're right. All right, there we go. That answers that. They're right.
So, why do you decide to jump and follow the monkey here?
I was gonna try to prowl him off the map.
Okay, that's fine.
Jump, but I think he pops primal too, maybe.
Got it. Yeah, because
No,
I was gonna say
no,
usually it doesn't make
just-
sense to do this jump, but if you want to problem him off the map, which it looks like you might, then it's a good play.
That's what I was going for. So
Okay.
he just swapped monkey, so he didn't have it. But I was gonna primal people off. That's why I jumped up there and let my HP drop.
Got it. Okay, that's completely fine then. That's completely fine rationale.
That answers that.
Nothing wrong.
Break bubble.
Okay.
Diva hat.
The
Chest
juice.
bomb.
Monkey is Discord.
Break
Yeah,
bubble.
so like we talked about, in this comp, the Anna Nano and the Winston Primal are like the key ultimates to win this. It's like you need to get value out of them and use them quickly. The problem here is you Primal and you don't get value.
That answers that.
Normally it's not that big of a deal, but I mean in this comp it's so important. So you Primal,
Break bubble.
you don't actually get any value.
Diva hat. Chest.
Reloading.
Yeah, so now you use Primal range and you got effectively nothing out of it.
You'll become poke from the bottom door.
So we can see how big of a deal this is
Bomb you guys.
by wondering if you would have Primal this
They're
fight, what
coming
would
left, they're
change?
coming left, they're coming
Okay,
left.
rotate.
Let's
rotate.
see.
Wait for them to push in with EMP bomb. Okay.
Yeah, so the spot where your diva's at right now, that's where you should be playing as well, generally speaking.
Okay.
Because it lets you drop off for free without using shifts. And your team can easily help you there. Anna has great line of sight onto that. It's just a really good spot to be.
Stay passive, stay passive. All right, we're here.
Yeah, the problem here is, so you want to be as close to the enemy as you can without being in their line of sight, right? The last thing you want to do as a monkey or a melee character is to be in direct line of sight of the enemy, but still not able to shoot them, right? Because
Right.
you're a sitting duck, you can't do anything. So again, you want to be finding a way that you want to be close to them. So when you see them making this rotation here, for example, that's the moment where you can say, I'm going to walk the point and I'm going to hug this corner. Because I expect them to have to come to this choke.
Okay.
And even worst case scenario, you're still in a better spot than you would be by staying up here. Because staying up here, you actually gain nothing. So try to match them on rotations, anticipate where they're coming, and then try to pressure that choke
Yeah,
where they're
we're
coming
getting
out of.
EMP bomb.
They're on us. Back up, Adam. Back up.
Big boo.
Okay, you feel? So let's look at
They're on us.
priorities. So why do you dive the Winston Diva?
Just counter dive.
Okay.
Just try to
Ooh.
get as much peel as I could.
Yeah, so watching more dive would be really cool with you because generally speaking, it's not worth you peeling back for the Winston Diva.
Yeah, I heard you
The
say that
vast-
today on stream during
Yeah.
one of the VOD reviews, and I realized I
The-
do that a lot.
Yeah, the vast majority of the time, you're better off just zoning the rest of the team. But in this case, I'm asking because, like I said, generally that's the rule you want to apply. You don't want to do that. But like, what else is your option here? You really don't have other options. So that's why I think it's fine here. I'm just wondering if that's like a habit you have or not, because, like I said before, it's not good to have that as a default.
It is a habit of mine.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's
something
good to
I'll
know then,
have
because it's
change.
definitely something to fix.
Yeah.
So, you use bubble here, but you definitely didn't have to use bubble here, so
Can't
waste
see
of
you in
cooldown.
Just play slow. They're not touching point and they use beat.
This is really good. You're hiding and waiting
Guys,
out
I guess
their
we're chilling, we're
support
chilling.
cooldowns.
Hi,
Very
Diva.
nice.
Briggs anti, Briggs
Diva
anti.
one, Diva
Keep
one.
out of mech.
Get monkey. I'm monkey anti.
I'm rotating around. I dropped
Get
down.
baby Diva. Get baby
Okay, this is
Diva.
probably good
Baby
from
Diva
you.
one.
Help.
I can't see you guys. Hold on. Help Adam.
Yeah, help, help, help,
Hacking
help,
Zarya.
help.
Hack Zarya.
Yeah, that
Zarya.
last jump there was a little bit aimless,
Help Adam.
but you had
I
the
was-
right idea that you wanted to try to jump out.
Baby
I
Diva
w-
one.
yeah, I was gonna go high ground
Can't
there
see
to get
guys.
out, but I realized I probably
Help
didn't
Adam.
have to, so that's why I went back
Yeah,
out.
help, help, help,
Hacking
help,
Zarya.
help.
Hack Zarya.
Okay.
Get Zarya.
I'm on
Got it,
Mega, I'm
okay.
on Mega.
Get Lucia.
Because I didn't.
There's a
like,
break on
soldier
Mega,
killed
break on Mega.
two
Break,
with
break,
it
break,
right
break,
there.
break one, break one.
Yeah,
let
you
me
still
pop
could have died
everybody
there,
off.
so it's still good to go on the high ground.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
come back as
Because you really
Lucio.
weren't like even if you land on low ground,
What?
like what are you really
What?
doing on the low ground? That's
So,
worth
for the rotation.
risking your life for.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Did
exactly.
both of
So
you
yeah,
guys pick
well, it's always good to go into cover like that to
No,
heal
we were
up.
okay. It was just.
Oh, okay, good looks.
Show
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, I'm not peeking.
Okay, I'm rotating. I'm rotating.
Okay. And again, same thing as like every single fight we talked about, holding close, very good.
Don't-
Not giving
don't
space for free.
show yourself.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not peeking.
Okay, really good job pressuring it. Yeah, now this is where it matters a lot. They're not counter diving. You're peeling. Okay, never mind. This is where you
This-
go for the primal, right?
Yeah, yep. This is where I
Okay.
tried again, and it works this time, or at least on the
Yeah. Yeah, you get the diva. Okay. Oh, it's so hard to explain then. Okay, yeah. So if you didn't have primal, you had to stay stuffing their backline. But because you have primal and you see this opportunity, it's a good primal. So I mean, good on you then for acknowledging
Here,
that.
I guess. Winston is anti.
Yeah, that was really good.
I'm backing up.
I have my
point.
EMP.
They're getting a tick.
And I just completely botched
They're
this
all on
jump
point.
there.
I'm EMPing.
Yeah, you could have got that Zarya.
One diva, one diva, one diva. I mean, no, sorry. Just cleaving here.
Monkey sleeping in the back.
Okay, this is good stuff. Trying to
One
maximize
point,
damage
I
with the
dropped
combo.
down.
Cleaving
That's
the front
good.
line here.
Huge damage.
Use his,
Absolutely farming right now.
I think they use
I hack break, hack break, hack break.
Okay, this is one of the situations where it's good to land on high
Hack
ground.
break, hack break, hack
Yeah, I
break.
slid off. I didn't go far enough in. See, I just kind of slid off the side there.
Yeah, I see you.
That's what I tried
Sorry,
to do.
dude.
I just missed it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely tragic. So, yeah, that wasn't too bad though. You might have been able to stay alive though if you stayed on high ground.
Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Get the Mega on right.
Comp here.
Top left.
Some. They're above you, Bert.
They're all top left.
Monkey's Discord.
Okay, this is a fine spot. Yeah, this primal I really didn't think it was necessary. So, because this is like a pre-fight primal basically, right? Like if you win this fight with this primal, you don't really gain anything for your team, and they just give up like what? I don't know, 30 seconds to come back. So you're not actually like winning a fight. You're more like forcing them to regroup once you get a pick here.
So my thought process behind this was that I knew Zarya had their grav, and I was just trying to prevent a snowball. So maybe it wasn't necessary. That was just my thought process, not necessarily the correct
Okay,
thought
so
process.
you knew that Zarya had grab here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great then. That's actually a good play then. Yeah, so if Zarya didn't have grab here, this would be a really bad play because it doesn't really cost him anything. But because she has grab here, it's good that you acknowledge that, you know, you neutralize your threats. And Zarya's your biggest threat here. So this is fine. In that case.
Point.
all monkey.
She gets
Monkey's
stuck on the
anti,
corner, you get the juggle off. That's really good stuff.
Diva's Discord. Diva's Discord.
You just want to be careful not to make those kind of
He's
plays too
anti,
early,
monkey's
right? Because at this situation, like, the fight hasn't, like, properly broke out, right? It's still, like, the staging phase. And if you try to primal into somebody, their whole teams, they're literally going to 6v1 you. Because, like, nobody on your team is actually able to engage. So, like, try to be a little bit careful when you do these pre-fight, but in this case, it was fine. And you don't get punished for it.
Okay.
But yeah, like, for example, let's say that you see the Diva Bomb. Like, seeing the Diva Bomb go out, like, that would be an engage trigger to go in, right?
Mhm.
So something like that, for example, because the D-bomb means they're committing to the fight.
Wait.
Wait, that was a good juggle on Cesar.
Nice.
Talk about what else they have. They would you just save trades for that?
Grab it.
Okay, and the similar thing applies as the first point and giving space for free. So you're giving a whole bunch of space for free because you're playing all the way back on point instead of playing closer up. And that's a big mistake.
I think I go forward. Oh,
Okay.
never mind. I don't. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, especially against goats, but even against like dive comps and everything. Like literally against any comp, you shouldn't be playing on point unless you have a reason to play point.
Okay.
And right now off the top of my head, I literally cannot even think of one reason why you wouldn't want to play farther up. But yeah, mainly like right here, on this top left area. Those are like the 3 go-tos.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Break half.
Yeah, so
see, I
same
did it
thing that we
again.
talked about before is target priority. So yeah, pay attention to target priority here. You keep zapping the monkey, keep zapping the monkey, keep zapping the monkey. There's like you could be zapping realistically maybe 3 other people if you change your aim on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But instead you decide to zap the monkey. So that right there is, in my opinion, it just screams target priority. Is that you could be prioritizing your targets a lot better. And I feel like I see that a lot as well. Same thing with diving tanks, right? And here you peel the monkey again.
Yeah, Discord, we can kill him. We can kill him.
Big EMP.
Easy, easy.
So I think when you're playing monkey, at least you're focusing too much on the enemy tanks.
Okay. I see. I keep doing it.
Wait.
Yeah, and here you go for the diva as well.
They're anti. They're anti.
So here,
Break one, break one, break one, break one. Break one.
my wife was talking to me. I thought I was in the graph, so I wasn't moving. But I was not in the graph.
Break.
Yeah, I was wondering like what the heck happened there. Okay, that oddly makes a lot of sense now.
Hag Zarya.
Yeah. Because I looked away and I heard the graph and I thought I was in it.
Yeah, when I watched the VOD, honestly, when you tell me now, I realized it, but I thought you were Junkrat trapped when I first watched the VOD.
Let me get heals.
What the heck's going on?
Oh, get
Hey,
you.
let me heal Diva. Let me heal Diva.
What do we have? What do we have? Oh shit, we
Big
used
roleplay?
everything. Okay, we have nano.
I almost
no,
have you now.
yeah, nano monkey, nano monkey.
Alright, I'm taking high ground again.
Okay, you're holding close now. This is good.
Discord if you want. If you go.
Hag monkey.
Okay, good job pressuring out. This is really good from you.
I'm on her, I'm on her, I'm on her. Oh, I got booped up. She's one, she's one.
I can't see you there.
Okay, this is a
Where is
movement thing. So when you get booped down like this,
Yeah, I'm on her.
the first thing that should come to your mind is, I don't have my shift. I need to get in cover. So in this case, your first idea should be, where do I go so I can be safe? And in this case, it'd be just to go to this middle box here.
Okay.
But instead, you actually end up going back.
Oh, I got booped
Towards
up.
that wall.
She's one.
I can't see you there. Hold on. I have
Monkeys
nano.
Discord. Monkeys.
This is a very risky
Enemy,
spot to be
enemy,
in.
enemy.
Holy shit.
Hag monkey.
So much damage.
I can't see you.
Enemy,
And this
enemy,
is
enemy.
probably more of a minor thing. But you're 50 ammo right now, and you're booped up. This should be the opportune time to reload. Because you know that nano's going to last longer than your ammo, right? Your ammo's going to run out mid-nano.
Right.
So you're going to have to reload anyway, so you might as well do it now when you have the most downtime.
Hag monkey.
Because yeah, you could actually fully reload
Can't
it.
see you.
Yep.
And now you don't get full value from your nano.
Zarya's
Diva's
right side. Zarya's right side.
Yeah, it's just
Get
stuff I
that
don't
one.
didn't even think about
Zarya's
doing.
Discord if you can do anything.
Yeah, I've been having that problem recently. I don't know why, but that's definitely a big thing to work on.
They didn't
What
use
was
Have-
there's an old habit I had to
for
break because I was
sure.
originally
MP
a
visor
Roadhog
or
main.
Dom to wait for you?
Went back
So
it was
pop
4 ammo.
visor first,
and I had
see
to-
what we
Oh,
can do.
yeah.
Bad habit of
And this
reloading
low
too
shotgun.
much.
Then we can.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
so I would
Push
basically
you,
reload
and then we'll-
all the
we'll-
time because it was more important, and it was
If
just
we
a
have it.
bad habit that I've been trying to break.
They're gonna
So
push,
I think I went too far.
I
the other
got
way.
you. It's good they're making changes though. Okay.
just use DM.
So here, again, we look at target priority. So you're zapping people when they come through choke, that's good. But the problem is that, sure, zapping monkey here is good, but can you get more value? Right? Like, monkey's gonna walk up, you know the rest of the team's gonna start walking up as well eventually.
Right.
So why not just wait? Yeah, wait until you see like a better target. Like, let's say you let Winston Diva walk up, and then, you know, you see like a Brigand is Zen. You can start zapping them.
Mm.
So that's one thing. Also, when you're pressuring choke like this, the whole reason this is good is because they have to come through like a predefined area, like a relatively small choke. And in order for them to see you, they have to push past the choke and then look at this angle, right?
Mhm.
So if you were holding the choke and you were sitting right here, it would be completely different because they just shoot you for free. So, that being said, when you start zapping like this, try to stay as close to the wall as possible. Because right now, if you look when you chase monkey, you end up rotating like this, following the monkey's movement. But instead, what you could do, if you want to keep chasing him, is you go forward. And that still closes the distance. And it still allows you to be behind cover.
Okay.
That's more like a micro thing. Yeah, the big thing is just to wait for a better target. Also, you jump out too early here. You end up
Brig
jumping
is
here.
Discord at Mega? I wouldn't know.
So why do you jump out here?
Brig is
Just
Discord at Mega?
worried about
I
getting
wouldn't
bashed and burned. Even though I mean,
Okay.
I had bubble, but it's just I should have stayed longer.
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, the only thing threatening you right now is D.Va and then maybe Zen if he starts shooting you. But you're really not taking damage from anybody except you're going to take a few bullets from D.Va and that's it.
Okay.
Because yeah, that also comes down to when you're pressuring chokes, right? You want to be saving your bubble for the highest impact or highest threat to you. So let's say you're playing like you did on first point, right? You're playing Winston against Goats. What should what should your bubble be used to block? About all the cooldowns that Goats has.
I mean, it's definitely good for isolating healing on
Okay.
people. I mean, Zarya damage, Zen damage.
Okay, because yeah, if you think about it, right, Zarya does no damage early fights, like in rotations.
Mm-hmm.
Zen damage, it's not that much in the grand scheme of things. But the big thing is, right, you're not gonna die because of Zen shooting at you. Generally speaking, you're gonna die because you're gonna get bashed, right? That's what's gonna
Right.
make you die. So that being said, think about how you're using your bubble and what you're using to block with it. So when you're pressuring, you should use bubble to block bash, right? Because bash is the way you die. Without bash, there's like no way you die, correct?
Right.
In most situations.
Yeah.
So yeah, literally just save bubble for that as much as you can, and really focus on that. That's gonna let you get so much more primal HP as well. Do that
just-
especially when you're holding on the truck here on first point. Use it
So
to block
just
with bash.
Basically, like put it down and then like play the edge of it so she can't.
Yeah, the easiest way to do it is they're gonna walk up. When the Brig looks at you, when she turns to you, you just drop bubble. You drop bubble and then you hold S, and like 90% of the time you'll block it, if not more. Honestly, it's super consistent. Every Brig does the same thing.
Brig is Discord at Mega? I wouldn't know.
Yeah, same thing. If they have like a Kree instead of a Brig, you know, Kree is the way, or flashbang's the way you're gonna die. So then you block flashbang.
Good D.Va, good D.Va, good D.Va.
I can't see you to heal you.
Because I'm trying to see if you could get more value from
Good.
Primal here. Because yeah, the problem is you jump out too early, which we already talked about that.
Good D.Va, good D.Va, good D.Va.
And here, you're peeling the D.Va very hard. All you're doing is peeling D.Va right now. You could be getting much higher value if, instead of continuing to peel the D.Va, you just instead try to find like a Brig or a Zen or something like that and just keep them busy. Don't kill them, just literally you can drop bubble and look at them. You don't have to kill them to be useful.
I can't see you to heal you.
Especially when you have Primal, it looks to
Are
make
you
a
okay?
proactive play. Because like, using Primal to counter dive, that's really not that high value, right? That
Right.
doesn't really do much. But if you can be aggressive and like Primal their backline while their monkey's diving your team, their backline can't help their monkey. And their monkey is effectively 1v6ing.
He's all over me.
Or the
Knock
D.Va,
me out with
whoever
that.
ready.
is diving.
He's sleeping behind you.
Use it, use it, use it, use it.
Monkey's sleeping by our spawn.
Okay, now the rest of this is fine. Good focus on Lucio.
Nice. I'm on break. Break. Oh, they're coming with strands. Just play slow here if we can. Play slow. I'm stalling point. Break and dive. Break still one.
Okay.
Monkey.
Yeah, this is where your Doofus popped off. That was actually insane.
Yeah.
I watched that play of the game.
He did
Rizzy is
pop
pretty
off.
fucking clutch, not gonna lie.
And when you, he's good. His brig isn't because he's one of those guys who doesn't like to play brig because
Yep.
goats isn't fun, right?
You know, speaking of that, DPS players playing Brig is like main tank players playing Orisa. I think we can both attest to that, right?
Yes.
Amen, brother.
You know what? That's a good comparison actually.
Yep. Also, this is really good from you. So, you know that all their threats are on the left side, so you play on the right side of this truck. This is like really good. Like incredible.
Just gonna go over here.
Also, good job taking high ground space.
They're diving me.
You want to make sure you drop very quickly though.
Zen's half. Zen
Can you
dropped.
do?
I got Lucio.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, so that was
Half.
really good from you. So why do you jump high ground here?
my goal here with this comp was to just be a distraction because we're running double snipers, and I didn't think that they would counter dive me, but the monkey I think does. And right now I'm just playing to just distract and force other sight lines, force them to
Okay.
turn around so my sniper set can lever shots.
Got it. Because I was gonna say that it's really good. Because yeah, you're not diving anything, but you're pulling attention, and that's what matters. Because if you don't do anything, you're gonna get stuffed in the choke, and you can't do anything. That's why I really like this play. But I just want to tell you ahead of time, you want to be careful when you're going for these dives, because if you just want to jump on like the very edge, right? So that when you see that they try to shift into you, then you can literally just drop on the low ground instantly.
Okay.
Versus if you play like you jumped it a little bit too far, like on the building. If that happens, Eva can boost you into you, boop you in the top middle, you're just gonna die because you have no escape path.
Right.
That's one thing to keep in mind. But the general idea here is completely good.
They're diving me?
Like, this is a very good play.
Zen's half. Zen dropped. I got Lucio.
Yeah, and that Lucio pick is only possible because you made that space. That would not have happened if you didn't go for that jump.
Okay, slow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
That's
wait.
upside, that's
I go
upside.
here for the
Baiting
same
high
And
reason.
good job again. Yeah, you're really good at playing monkey like for space controlling on attack. On defense, you don't hold chokes for some reason, but on attack, you're playing it really well. A very slow, patient monkey.
I can actually drop on Zen.
Nice.
Rick's
That's
half.
just-
Yeah, obviously, it
bonus.
does waste the bubble.
Yeah. I got Zen. I'm out.
Nice.
Yeah, like overall, this is really good.
Oh,
Like your monkey on attack is very, very
Do that.
solid.
Let's go. Let's
Okay,
go.
let's go Zarya now. Zarya now.
You heard Big Bash on left side. I don't know if you heard it, but I heard it right now in the VOD.
Zarya now.
So you know that if you turn to the left, you can kill the
Can we
brig.
get this break? Break dead. Good diva.
Okay, nice. Alright, so really solid monkey play on first one attack. Yeah, right now it just looks like your monkey problem is not pressuring chokes enough
Okay.
when you have like choke control.
Testing the monkey up here.
The rest of it looks pretty good overall.
Oh.
Monk ass.
She is primal.
Go again.
He was out of
Yeah. I
Diva
played
dead.
anticipating heals and
He
it
was
just didn't
primal?
happen. It was just,
He was out of
Yeah. Oh, in that case, that's honestly fine. That's not your fault
Monkey
then.
one. Monkey one.
Well, it is, but that's a good mistake to make. Because you want to expect heals from your teams instead of playing solo and not expecting any help ever.
Monkey one. She is primal.
He was out of egg.
So you get low, so your primal,
Damage boosting. Everybody's getting damage boost.
which is fine.
I'm ulting down point.
That was almost a good boop on the Zarya.
Zarya can die. Zarya can die.
Okay, good call on the Zarya.
He's out.
Yeah, monkey one nice. That's it. Oh, Zarya now.
Oh, that's tragic.
Brig.
That's not so much your fault. Your Lucio and Kami is going to beat, so that's honestly not on you.
Probably swap. Yeah, our dive definitely is
they definitely
our
have
weakest
grab.
right now. Just because
Yeah.
goats is so much more common. So.
Yeah, dive comp is usually not very good right now, unless you're playing as quad DPS.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as Monkey, like, tell me what you'd like to do. Like, where would you like to jump? Where would you like to go against this comp with your comp?
So again, just forcing, basically be a distraction. Force cooldowns, like movement cooldowns if I can, and force different angles. And then since they're playing goats, go for the cleave, farm primals.
Yeah, so where specifically would you like to go as Monkey?
I think here I dive the high ground where Zen's usually like to hold on that top right in the back.
Yeah.
I think I miss it.
Monkey no jump on high ground.
Okay.
This is me just taking space.
Yeah, this is fine. I'm just wondering because obviously you don't want to jump into goats like ever with this comp.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to make sure that you're jumping around them and not into them.
Okay.
And I assume based off what you're saying and what I saw is that is what you're trying to do, right? So you want to jump somewhere
Yeah.
like here, here, or somewhere like in this arc, you know?
Okay.
Because yeah, if you jump into goats, you're just gonna die straight up. That was also a wasted bubble. You saw D.Va backing up all the way, already giving space.
Mm-hmm.
So now you won't have bubble for the jump, unless you wait 10 seconds.
Oh, she got out. She got out.
Yeah,
Good
and
move
I'm
on
pretty
that.
sure I
Just
don't.
pressure.
She's D back.
Take some
I'm
space.
ulting.
What's this out?
Monkey's in our
They're
back.
zones. They're zones up.
Okay.
Just
And
play,
this rig stays
play
alive.
slow around the. Oh, they waste the beat. Waste the beat. Just wait it out.
Now you're
wait it
just
out.
waiting it out. That's
Yep, I have
good
promise.
stuff.
Don't go.
Mega.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Circle, circle.
Okay, whenever you guys dive in, I'm gonna Valk.
Okay, I'm gonna try to primal the Zarya off the map.
Alright.
Hey, you
let's
said you're
do
gonna
it.
try
They're
to
gonna have
primal
frantic
Zarya off the
feet.
map,
Wait for
okay?
that. Just wait for that. We got 4 minutes. Just wait for that shit.
Yeah, so you said wait for that because they rallied, which is fine. But even then, you should just take top right.
Okay.
If they're rallying, that means you don't want to engage. But that doesn't mean that you can't take space in the meanwhile to posture to set up
Okay.
for the engage. Because yeah, now they get that top right for free. And now if you go main, your backline has a high chance of getting fucked, and your snipers too.
What the fuck? How did she...
Whereas if you would have taken that top
That's
right
half.
space, you'd be more likely to be safe.
Go. Oh shit.
Oh,
Is he ghosting?
Oh good,
I'm
good.
solo grab. So
okay.
So yeah, sound. If you don't feel like you're getting much.
So right now, what I see is
Level
you.
Sombra, that'd be good on this.
Oh, let me. Yeah. So right now, what I see from you is a lot. You're always going from either main or you're going from top right, and from there you're always going either like top right or top middle, right?
Mm.
Like the circles are where you're jumping. So right now, what you're doing is very predictable. Have you ever considered going and utilizing like this left side of the map?
I don't think I ever have. I'm not sure why. Maybe just
Yeah, just wondering because you do the same thing every time, but I feel like
Yeah.
going left side would be good because you can even jump through the window like this
Right.
and just get the left side for free. You can either like flank all the way behind on the high ground, start zapping from behind, or you could even just go like behind here on the low ground and just start walking on their side of point.
Okay.
And then they're gonna look at you, and then guess what? If Brig tries to bash you, you got your bubble, and they can jump away if you get low. And you open up a lot of space for your team, but like by doing that play.
Okay.
So definitely something to consider.
Need his tag again.
Alright, we're all here almost.
Or you can also use it as a bait play because I see you like to, force tanks to use their shift and then go for primals. You can go left side. You can like keep running away. They're gonna chase you, and then you can jump behind and primal boop them off the map.
Okay.
That's also a
Yeah,
good way to
and
set
then I
up
wanna
big plays.
push-
Is ready?
Counter gun.
Okay.
Okay.
Missed
You ready
this.
to go? 3,
Go.
2.
Okay, this is really good though on the fundamental level. They're Winston Diva Dover backline, and you ignore them. That's good.
I'm going back on.
Counter gun.
1 point.
Yeah, missed the
Push
jump.
as well.
So you missed the jump, but you pull so much attention. So it actually ended up being a net positive for you. They missed that jump. There's literally 6 people on you. So because there's 6 people on you, I'd like to see you jump up into the air instead of trying to go for
Melting.
an instant juggle.
Okay.
Okay, you get super low here.
Got that. They're trans.
Okay, good jump into the air now.
Anika's in the back.
Okay, now this is a small thing. I think you're trying to do it.
Got that. They're trans.
Is that obviously your jump cooldown resets when your prime was over, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you just jump with 1 second, like every single time, like pretty much without fail. If there's 1 second left on primal, literally just jump above them, and then you're still gonna have your jump cooldown, so you can always get out. It's so good because they're gonna say monkey no jump, because to them it looks like you just jumped in after primal, but you still have your shift. So if they focus attention on you, you just take the damage and then jump back out again. So that's a small micro thing.
Anika's in
Listen,
the back.
because yeah, here see you try to do it here, but you actually do it after the primal.
Mm.
So I think that was probably just a mechanical mistake, but
Oh no.
also that's the thing of trying to,
Guess
actually dive into their
Oh,
their
no.
ghost comp.
Up.
All right.
You can almost never dive into ghost when you're playing Winston Diva double sniper.
Yeah, like I said, dive is struggling, and it maybe just a lot of my decision making on who I'm diving and things like that.
I mean, on top of that, it's
what
really
they
just
have-
not a good dive meta.
They use grab the fight
Yep,
before
they use
that
grab.
one.
Well,
They're
Bunk-
not gonna have
Bunker,
raptors,
goats,
they're not
and
gonna get a comp.
like triple slash quad DPS
They probably have rally.
are honestly like
They
95%
swap
of the
mirror.
comps.
Should I hold bomb?
And the dive is only good against triple or quad DPS out of all those comps that I listed.
Mm-hmm.
combo.
Just wait for that. Back out. I'm not going in on
Okay.
that.
You back out because they
Oh,
rally.
Step backwards.
Good call. Nice. So I don't know if you call it ever, but you could also call bubbles for your Zarya. So say like I'll take energy Zarya, or like I'll take damage for you Zarya, and then just like peek out. Because these times where you're disengaging from the rally, like you might as well bubble out, right? Because you're not going to engage for an extra 10-15 seconds anyways. So might as well
I
milk
had
the
to
value
look
from
this,
that.
I had to look this.
Okay.
Give me for a second.
And then when your Zarya has higher charge and you win the shield battle and like
Alright,
all
I have it.
snowballs,
Killed you.
Oh my gosh.
that was a good bubble. That was a risky flame strike because you did it kind of in the open here.
Killed you.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
trying to get it behind the box, but I think I did it too soon.
Yeah. Okay, that's the right idea. But yeah, usually you'd want to be behind the box and then re-peek again for the flame strike.
Okay.
Wait, that was really, really risky.
The Ryan has Discord. The Ryan still has
Oh,
Discord.
I need shield.
Now in this case, it's completely okay to recharge your shield. Because look, his shield's almost full HP, your shield's 300. You can literally AFK here, say spam shield, spam shield.
Alright, bubble.
I get the right.
That was a crazy boop.
Sorry, one.
Nice job going aggro into that.
Have you
I'm gonna shield this. I'm
Okay.
gonna get pinned. I'm gonna get pinned. I have no shield.
Okay, that was really risky from
No
you.
shield.
Holding shield this whole time.
Yeah. I should have just dropped it.
Yeah, exactly, and then just flash it at the bomb.
Mm.
Okay, good. Yeah, just making sure. Because you could even hold it for like maybe 200 HP, and then you can drop it.
Shield this. I'm
Okay.
gonna get pinned. I'm gonna get
Because
pinned.
even if your shield has 1 HP, you can still block a bomb.
Bubble.
Oh, we're
At
up
least
though.
using
We're up though. Go, go. I
yeah,
almost
we're
have
good.
you. Get the Zarya to the left. Zarya to the left. She's going around
Nice.
left.
She's slow. She's slow.
Just fit in the Zen.
I've
Yeah, saw some free ult charge, man.
shield.
Still
Yeah.
over there.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Now this,
Just regroup.
playing towards the middle of the point is fine, so you can react to everything. But you want to play towards,
She's still,
oops.
she's still over there.
You want to play towards the middle right of point, right? Because they're either gonna come from here or here in most
Okay.
situations. So you want to posture to get them there. Whereas if you look what you're doing here, you're backing up and you're playing on the middle.
Yeah.
You're not like properly set up to pressure any chokes.
I'm rallying.
Now you back up because of beat. That's good.
Shatter, big shatter.
Huge
big shatter.
shatter.
Get back, get back. Nice,
Very
Ryan,
solid.
Ryan, Ryan.
Right now.
Get ball.
Ball has discord.
Ball.
Good, him in.
Get this in.
Zeno.
And the rest
Lucio,
should be
Lucio.
easy cleanup here.
Ball.
Lucio's one. Yeah, ball. Focus ball. He's on point.
So right now I can tell that when you play goats, you like to focus a lot on like the engage heavy kind of game, right? Where like we have bubble advantage, we want to push in. So how often do you play for these sort of like slower calls or like shield break calls?
Not as much as I should. I think, like I said, it goes towards, like at the beginning when you asked, it goes towards my aggressive playstyle, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with having an aggressive playstyle, but I was just wondering because, you know, I didn't hear you call for shield break or anything too many times. So yeah, okay. Because, yeah, you don't always have to be aggressive. If you find that aggression's not working, try to incorporate shield break a bit more. But honestly, as long as your aggressive style is working for you, like, keep on doing it. But yeah, there will be a time, I guarantee you, where it stops working and you're going to have to, like, start diversifying a little bit.
Yeah.
That being said, though, you're really good at the aggression. Like, you're really good at going aggro with bubbles, backing up when they have advantage. You know about HP advantage. You know about positional advantage. You know about cooldown advantage. So, honestly, pretty good stuff overall.
Yeah, I learned a ton when you did that first review on the stream. Of just
Oh,
like,
good to hear, man.
Because I was like, God, our goat sucks, and I feel like it's my fault.
Dude, I honestly can't believe it, dude. How long has it been, like, between those two games that you sent? The first one and now these VODs? Like, 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
Like 2 weeks.
Fuck, man. That's actually mind-blowing. That's why I asked what SR you are. Because I was like, if you play the game more, I'm pretty sure you'd be, like, much higher SR.
I always have positive win rates, but it's just the sitting down and grinding through that 60% win rate, the forced 60%, you know?
Yeah, and I'm sure when you have a whole bunch of other stuff, you know, family, kids, shit like that, you don't have that much motivation to sit down for hours and play ranked like a 18-year-old.
Yeah, I only get to do anything until like after my daughter goes to bed, so
Yeah.
I'm just exhausted.
Parent life.
Right.
All right, man. Well, I mean, I'll be sending you a Google Doc with like some of your problems and like what you can do to fix them.
Okay.
So I'll probably have that to you by tomorrow night. All right.
All right. Sounds good. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, thanks for the session, dude. You have a good night.
Yeah. Thanks, you too. See ya.
I mean, I'm not talking in the game at all.
Oh.
Hello.
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 You
I got
never
walled
played
off.
Grand Theft Auto, did you? War.
I'm here with you and now I'm dead.
I mean, not online, no.
Oh,
Who?
so you did play San Andreas.
Oh my gosh,
Fuck,
this is
dude,
not
who
gonna work.
didn't play San Andreas?
Yeah, I
Fine.
don't.
I thought I didn't have any friends that played like Grand Theft Auto. I was like, fuck, dude, who the hell?
You didn't have any friends or what?
That played Grand Theft Auto, so they wouldn't have understood the video I sent them that I thought was funny.
I gotta watch it.
It's a bit smoky. Notorious VIP smoke.
We're gonna break it up.
Yeah, because honestly, it's just not gonna work. I shouldn't be playing Ryan against this.
Stupid video, but I thought it
There's
was
someone behind us. Or above us. There's someone above us. There's.
Don't get on
Back
that.
the fuck up, monkey.
Oh my god. I forgot how shitty that game looks.
I mean, it's PS2. For a PS2 game, I mean, it's amazing.
Well, true.
I'd still go back and play it probably and still have a lot of fun. Which I can't say for a lot of PS2 games.
Oh no.
I just got out of a coaching session.
Oh. You were being coached or you were coaching someone?
I was being coached.
Boy.
Reviewed
How'd
one of
it
our
go?
scrims. Oh, pretty good. I learned a lot.